wanna, you could buy your wear your clothes.
You've got the gloves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Southwestern College.
What did you think on Friday night last week? Practice, Dr. Bishop?
I was there.
Number 12, Rachel Hillman. Number 14, Megan King. Number 20, Carrie Meckling. And number 13, Miley Cavafesha. And now here's the starting lineup for the Falcons. At forward, number 21, Heather Young, a freshman. A senior midfielder, number 3, Samantha Sussman. A senior midfielder, number 8, Kelly Schweigert. Senior defensive, number 7, Julia Paul. Junior defense, number 5, Lauren Jeffers. Senior goalkeeper, Alexandra Gubelman. Sophomore forward, number 10, Megan Dickey. Sophomore midfielder, number 6, Rachel Cohen. Senior forward, number 4, Jamie Clark. Sophomore sweeper, number 15, Rachel Bueller. And junior midfielder, number 17, Megan Bogart. Head coach of the Falcons is Dennis Costello, assisted by Jim Steworth and Steve Saylor. And now let's welcome the Mavericks of La Costa Canyon. Number 7, Amanda Torrey. Number 14, Natalie Elkind. Number 16, Heidi Stuckenschneider. Number 17, McKenna Stark. Number 18, Megan Scott. Number 21, Stacy Lopez. Goalkeeper, Cammie West. Number 4, Vanessa Vella. And number 5, Katie Culp. And now, here's the starting lineup for the Mavericks. Goalkeeper, Ashley Guy, a sophomore. Senior forward, number 15, Megan Gkjs. Senior midfielder, number 13, Jessica Miller. Junior forward, number 12, Megan Woods. Senior midfielder, number 11, Natalie Dew. Senior midfielder, number 10, Caitlin Parrott. Senior defense person, number 9, Vanessa Valentine. Senior defense, number 8, Jackie Scalene. Freshman midfielder, number 6, Courtney Young. Junior midfielder, number 3, Jenna Killian. And a junior defender, number 2, Kendra Brown. Head coach for the Mavericks is Mike Nicholson, assisted by Lucas Castillo and Janine Harshey.
From Southwestern College, it's the CIF Division I Championship Girls High School Soccer game between La Costa Canyon and Torrey Pines. I'm Greg Porter along with Jeff Scott. and Torrey Pines will be in the purple and black shorts, and La Costa Canyon is in the white and the green shorts.
Little uneven play there, Greg, to get things started. These two teams coming in as the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the county, not just in Division I. So we should have a heck of a game tonight.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, Torrey Pines here, coached by Dennis Costello, and the assistant is Jim Sleenworth. And on the other side of the ledger, Mike Nicholson is the head coach for La Costa Canyon, with Lucas Cortulo and Janine Har-Ispi.
Both these teams very well coached. And they've already met each other twice this season, splitting the 2 games.
Wow. And the last time these two teams played each other was in the finals, was back in 1998, in which they met in a 0-0 tie. Quick touch there by Rachel Cohen, and then to her teammate, Sammy Sussman. But now it's won by La Costa Canyon. With it there is Gkjs. Drops it back for her teammate, but they couldn't go any further with it. And Torrey Pines now on their counterattack. Heather Younger having a hard time with that play.
Heather Young for Torrey Pines, a very special young player, only a freshman, but she had the game-winning goal against Poway in the semifinals. Just a thunderous shot from about 30 yards out, went over the goalkeeper's head, ducked under the crossbar. She certainly doesn't play like a freshman, and I expect big things out of her tonight. Another terrific player is Rachel Cohen there on the ball. You see her, just a sophomore center midfielder. She really makes this Torrey Pines team go. She's their playmaker.
Jeff, you've had an opportunity to see a lot of these young players play throughout your years coaching. Where'd you used to coach at?
I started out in 1982 at Mount Carmel High School with the girls JV team, and finished up most recently at Francis Parker School. My last year I was the girls varsity coach there in '98, and we actually were lucky enough to win a CIF championship.
It's great to have a man like yourself with all this knowledge in the press box here, in the booth.
Greg, thank you. Appreciate that compliment. I tell you, I had a long way to go, though. I'd have to coach another 10 years to win as many championships as these two teams. Torrey Pines has won 12 titles in the last 20 years, more than any team in CIF San Diego section history. And if you add the La Costa Canyon titles to the old San Diego titles, you know, this school was San Diego High School previously, and all these kids moved over to the new school.
Megan Woods, and Woods just misses on a try, but Megan was hassled on that shot. Good play by the defense of Torrey Pines. Two schools in the North County, and they know how to play the game of soccer, as you mentioned, Jeff.
That's right, La Costa Canyon, the Avocado League champions. Torrey Pines, the Palomar League champions.
Swihart trying to maintain possession of the soccer ball, and it's off her foot as the pressure was being applied by Caitlin Pruitt. The throw in for La Costa Canyon on the far side.
It's a good matchup over there on that far side. Pruitt for La Costa Canyon, their right midfielder. A little taller, stronger player. Schweihart, very skillful, very quick, a little bit shorter, but an outstanding player for Torrey Pines. So let's keep an eye on those two on that far side. That should be a heck of a battle.
The throw in for La Costa Canyon. Far side touch line. There's a trip, but no call. And now we have a call. Trying to find out what the center ref is. Maybe he heard some words there. What do you think, Jeff?
I think that the player went down and he wanted to see if there was an injury. And in the event that there was no injury, I think he decided to blow the whistle and then give the ball back to Torrey Pines as an indirect free kick. And that's actually the right call. You don't see that anywhere else except high school. But that rule does exist for the high school soccer players.
The nice save by the starting goalie, Ashley Guy, on the play. Ashley's got some height in that net back there.
She does. Actually, I had an opportunity to coach against Ashley as a club player when she was younger, playing for the Surf Soccer Club. She's an outstanding young player who's had a lot of success her whole career, and now she's here in a very good La Costa Canyon High School program.
Throw in for Torrey Pines. Trying to gain control to the far side as he squeezes it to the middle. A quick touch there by Bogart, and now it ends up in the corner of the 18-yard box. And are they going to get a corner kick? Yes, they are.
Little Sussman doing a great job there, pressuring the defender, forcing her into giving up a corner kick. So, well, our first corner kick for Torrey Pines.
The sophomore Megan Dickey will take the CK. Set piece here. Let's see how Torrey Pines works it. Right on target and a save. Nice save by Guy.
You saw Rachel Cohen jump through the middle there. She almost got ahead to that ball.
Yeah, she almost did. Nice quick touch there by Gkjs. Gkjs on the ball now. And she'll turn and look for her teammate, but it's touched out by Torrey Pines. To the center circle. No score here in the first half of the CIF Division I Championship. The girls high school soccer, the #1 ranked in the county, La Costa Canyon, and Torrey Pines, the #2 ranked team. Coming down is Megan Woods at a try, and Woods just misses.
Very dangerous opportunity there. Wow. Don't know what Torrey Pines' defense was doing. They fell asleep just for a moment. And with those forwards, Gkjs and Woods, you got to keep your eye on them.
And Megan Dickey behind the play is kind of limping off, and it looked like they're going to try to get a substitution as Torrey Pines, as Dickey was hurt. And nice sportsmanship by the La Costa Canyon team, kind of trying to find out if she's okay. And she's going to stay in there as they can't get the sub in yet. As this one is kicked across midfield and now back. La Costa Canyon, nice play here. Here's Gkjs to the near side. Gkjs against Bueller, her alternate number for Torrey Pines, and they're going to get a CK.
Hey, that's another great matchup we need to watch. Gkjs, the leading goal scorer for La Costa Canyon. Bueller actually plays on the youth national team, the under-16 girls national team program for the United States. So tremendous honor for her. And that's, I mean, what a matchup. We've got maybe the best forward in the county playing against maybe the best defender in the county.
Well, you know, we see over there in the corner the San Diego Spirit setup, so who knows? Maybe Bueller might be one of those players in the future. Beautiful in a 6-yard box, but it goes to the other side as nobody could control it and try to put it in the net for La Costa Canyon.
A great opportunity there for La Costa Canyon. They just couldn't get anybody on the other end of that corner kick.
Boy, you see the skill of both of these two teams. They've got corner kicks, and both of them here in the last few minutes have been able to be very accurate with their corner kicks and get it right in front of the keeper. Gkjs, a quick touch. He goes past the La Costa Canyon player, and now running onto it is Torrey Pines. But La Costa wins the ball again. And that was a touch there by Rachel Bueller. And Bueller will have the free kick. Did you see the foul on the play?
I think the players just kind of bumped into each other. It didn't look like much of a foul. Referee thought it was more dangerous than we did.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the San Diego Spirit are here. They got the booth over there, and WUSA is going to start up April, I believe it's the 14th is the league opener, and there's a couple of San Diego players playing in this league.
There's a nice early ball on the play. They were looking for Megan Woods again, and Megan, who's had a tough time on that right side, as the defenders for Torrey Pines have been very tough on her in the early going. But a throw in for La Costa Canyon. In the 18-yard box. La Costa Canyon still trying to control, but now Torrey gets it. Torrey Pines, and they kick it out of play.
Now, La Costa Canyon plays a 4-4-2. That's 4 at the back, 4 in midfield with 2 up front, Woods and Gkjs. And La Costa Canyon having a hard time creating opportunities with just 2 forwards against this Torrey Pines team. Against most teams, those 2 do the trick.
That was a nice ball played to Courtney Young, but Young was not able to handle it enough to make a move on the defender, and so now they'll give up a goal kick. Alexandra Gubelman, the goalie, the senior, teeing it up for her teammate on the goal kick. Won by Jessica Miller. On the fly, Courtney Young trying to make a play. But she runs out of room. Torrey Pines the throw in. Rachel Cohen the touch. Up in the air with it, Jessica Miller. And Megan Woods. Megan Woods. A goal! I believe it was Kendra Brown on the ball, and a perfect cross
Number 15.
to Megan Gkjs, and Gkjs was unmarked, and she just tapped it in the net. 1-0, La Costa Canyon. Here in the first half with 28 minutes
40 in the first
left to go in the first half.
for La Costa Canyon.
You heard the PA announcer give that goal to Megan Gkjs. We were talking earlier how Woods had a hard time finding space in behind the defense. Well, boy, she got in that time. And Gkjs all alone at the 6-yard box just volleyed that home easily.
Beautiful play, though, by Kendra Brown to push that ball in the corner of the 18-yard box and get a beautiful crossing pass. It's a skill you learn as a young player, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, these players all play at a very high level growing up. Some of the top club teams in the country. And you're seeing it out here tonight.
On it is Gkjs, who scored the only goal so far in the game. Here's Gkjs in the 18-yard box. And it's won by Rachel Bueller. And Bueller playing her well, not giving her a chance to turn on it.
Bueller actually lost Gkjs on the goal because she had to come over and cover for a defender. Megan Woods was running free through the box, and Bueller had to choose to come and get the other player, leaving Gkjs all alone at the far post.
Megan Scott now is in the contest for La Costa Canyon, number 18. Megan, a forward. It is out of play now, and it is going to be a throw-in for Torrey Pines.
Greg, you mentioned earlier that Megan Dickey for Torrey Pines was injured, and she was substituted just a few moments ago. And that's a huge blow for Torrey Pines because she is such an active player on the right wing. I thought in the semifinals against Poway High School, she may have been the most dangerous player on the field. And now they're going to have to do without her for a while.
Stacy Lopez sending it in, and out to midfield. A quick touch by Jenna Killian. Killian down the middle. Killian goes to the right side in the 18-yard box now. Megan Woods still on the ball. Woods, nice turn. Defender pops it up and a save. And Woods running over the goalie on the play. But the goalie for Torrey Pines is tough, Alexandra Gubelman. She eyed the ball into her hands and made sure she covered up well. and somewhat she had to protect herself too.
Yeah, tough collision. As soon as she got that ball in her hand, she got run over.
Showing the toughness of the senior goaltender for Torrey Pines. Going to be a substitution now for Torrey Pines. Coming in is Caitlin Pruitt, it looks like, number 10, and she'll be substituting for Amanda Guy. Or
Megan Dickey
Megan Dickey is in for Julia Palm coming out of the contest.
Yeah, we mentioned she was injured a minute ago. Now she's back on. Let's hope she can stay on. Torrey Pines is going to need her to get back in this game.
Ball up in the stands over there.
This game takes on a completely different look now that LaCosta's got the first goal. We've got still 25 minutes left to play in this first half, and Torrey Pine's going to have to open it up a little bit, Greg, and play a little differently.
As they throw it in, Torrey Pines trying to get a counterattack going, and the whistle against La Costa Canyon. So now we have a free kick just inside midfield for Torrey Pines. Down 1-0. Beautiful free kick inside the 18-yard box. It was headed out. And a handball is called.
That shot came in by Rachel Cohen, took a deflection. Really, the defender got her arm up away from her side. I think she kept her arms down. The referee wouldn't have blown the whistle, but now we've got a free kick for Torrey Pines. Very dangerous position here.
Set piece try for Torrey Pines. Megan Dickey is standing there. We'll see if she approaches the soccer ball and delivers it inside an 18-yard box and on the net. She fakes it, and the shot is ricocheted. It was taken that time by Rachel Bueller, the sophomore.
Good shot there by Torrey Pines. They hit it into the wall hard, took a deflection. Actually, they're going to say that went off a Torrey Pines player. I thought that went off a La Costa Canyon player, but
one sophomore to the other in the end there. But it results in a goal kick for La Costa Canyon, leading 1-0. Nice header. Out of play now, and La Costa Canyon will throw it in. Up in the air, Rachel Cohen, and they say she was over the back of the player, so it's a foul.
That's a tough call. I think Rachel felt the player undercut her. Of course, the other girl felt that Rachel was on her back, so.
Jenna Killian with that free kick. Intercepted to midfield now. Megan Scott, and Torrey Pines wins it. And a back kick to Megan Dickey, trying for Megan Dickey on the run, but it didn't work. The throw in La Costa Canyon. Gkjs trying a through ball, couldn't get it. And now they want to recoil, so to speak.
A lot of pressure by this Torrey Pines team. Running hard. You can see the urgency, putting pressure on all over the field, trying to win the ball back.
On it now is Natalie Dew. Dew. Nice early ball played in the corner, and it is played off the corner of the net.
They're going to say that ball was out of bounds, actually. Linesman down there in the corner, I think she was right on top of the play.
Megan Woods hustling, though, to try to keep that ball in play. Beautiful idea, though. You know, you just keep playing until you hear the whistle. You never know.
That's right. Great effort. La Costa Canyon breaking the pressure that Torrey Pines was putting on.
Now, I'll tell you what, in a championship CIF game, you can't be worrying about, well, is it in or is it out? Let the refs call it. Because it might be just that one play that gets you a victory.
The players are taught from a very early age. You play until you hear the whistle.
Torrey Pines now with the free kick inside their own half of the field, just south of the center circle. And there's a whistle. Foul against La Costa Canyon. And a free kick. Here's another set-piece try for Torrey. They just had one a few minutes ago. Let's see what they do with it this time. Is it going to be Dickey that finally approaches the ball? She does, and a shot is too high over the crossbar as Megan Dickey trying to get it in the upper part of the net, but she had too much on it.
And they tried to, last time, go right through the wall on that free kick. This time over the top, finding not any better luck that direction.
Carrie Meckling is standing for Torrey Pines with an opportunity on the sidelines to try to come in. After the goal kick, quick touch there by Dickey, but her teammate can't run onto it, and so we go the other way. Megan Woods. Woods in the middle. Nice early ball played over, but a save is made by Gubelman. Gubelman decided, I need to come off the line and I need to make the play, and I need to make it now before the attacker has a chance to touch it.
There was that matchup we talked about earlier, Gkjs and Bueller. Bueller won that battle, keeping Gkjs off the goalkeeper.
Natalie Dew pinching in, and it went off of Torrey Pines, so we'll throw in for La Costa Canyon. Jessica Miller on it. Early ball played a little bit too far. Looked like Megan Woods had to get around the defender to get to it. So the defender making a nice kind of little block there, so to speak, with her body without really doing anything, touching the ball. Rolls out of play now, and a throw in for La Costa Canyon. Jessica Miller. Jenna Killian, and Killian, her ball meets the defender and rolls to the near side out of play. So advantage or throw in La Costa Canyon. Nice little pass over to Megan Woods. Woods going to operate in the corner of the 18-yard box. Being shielded from the soccer ball, however, rolls over to Gkjs. And she can't go any further as a good defensive play is made. Just past the top of the center circle, Costa Canyon trying to win it. And they will not be able to do so as they were in violation of a foul on the play. And now Torrey Pines will have the free kick from their own half of the field. Still 1-0, La Costa Canyon. On that goal by Megan Gkjs. Way back around in the 28th minute of the first half.
We're starting to see the game being played more in midfield now as the teams settle down. And Killian doing a great job for La Costa Canyon in that center of midfield, providing service to the forwards for La Costa.
And now finally getting the chance to come in for Torrey Pines is Carrie Meckling. In the midfield area, it pops up and a save is made by Ashley Guy. But it went past the goal line first before Guy touched it, so now here's the corner kick. CK try again.
Dickey's so dangerous on these corners. Now playing it short that time.
Dickey sending it in the 18-yard box. It was intercepted. Gkjs trying to turn, but it's stolen away. Good play in the midfield by Torrey Pines. And a foul called on La Costa Canyon, so now it is going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Heather Young was actually offsides for Torrey Pines there. She was coming back and from an offsides position. The linesman right on top of that play.
Thanks for saving me on that one. To midfield now, off of Dew there momentarily. Natalie Dew on it. Natalie Dew the senior, playing in her last game for La Costa Canyon. Number 11 out there. Jackie Skieber, she's a senior playing in her last game. Always very emotional when it's your last game. You know you're playing, you'll never play again in high school soccer. And high school soccer being a very memorable, playing a game of soccer as is any time you're on an organized team. But high school always has that special memory that's a little different than the others. The throw in for La Costa Canyon. Killian sending it in, but nobody there. Back up towards midfield. Jessica Miller advancing, doing it nicely over to Natalie Dew. Dew sending it across, and a beautiful one. Nice ball over to Megan Scott, but Scott couldn't quite get enough of it on the net.
Yeah, Scott made a great run out of midfield there to the far post. They picked her out.
And here's a nice ball played over in the corner, but getting to it first that time was Heather Young, the freshman.
You know, we've mentioned Young, we've mentioned Dickey. A name we haven't called is number 4, Jamie Clark for Torrey Pines. She's the other forward, and they need her to get more involved in this game if they're going to have chances.
Dickey the throw in and has a good one, but the white and green touch it first. La Costa Canyon trying to get their counterattack going, and a foul. Foul called on Gkjs. And Gkjs doesn't like the call, and the free kick in the 18-yard box for Torrey. The Falcons trying to tie this game up here before halftime. Natalie Dew with a touch. Intercepted to the outside, and it goes out of play. Going to be a throw-in for Torrey again. Torrey Pines will work it on the far side of the field, and a quick touch by Gkjs, and she kicks it out of play.
We saw the foul earlier, and the fans and the players both unhappy with it. These two teams have a very healthy rivalry.
No doubt about it.
To say they don't like each other and they would love to beat each other in the final is a huge understatement. So every ball is going to be contested very hard. Just like that. I think they did that on cue for us.
Free kick for La Costa Canyon, leading 1-0. As we are well past the midway part and working down towards the closing part of the first half of action here in the CIF Division I final. Back out on top for Killian, trying to operate. Gets it over to her teammate who sends it in. And the early ball is gobbled up there by Gobelman. Little bit too far on that near side try. And a foul against La Costa Canyon. So, again, Megan Dickey will set it up. And let's see how they work this set piece from their own half of the field. On the line drive, a couple of Torrey Pines players touch it, but they cannot control it. But Dew does, sending it to midfield. With one attacker against 3. To the outside now. Still getting to it is Megan Wood, showing her abilities. Her crossing pass intercepted, though, and it goes back upfield. Torrey Pines with their counter try. However, La Costa Canyon is there. Good play to the far side there, not allowing Torrey to go further. To midfield. And now it's headed out. And they say it was off La Costa Canyon, so now Torrey Pines, opportunity. And it might have been a foul on that play. What did you see, Jeff?
I think the ball was out of bounds. I don't think they will have a free kick. I was noticing how the La Costa Canyon midfield is doing a very effective job. He is going to say it's a free kick. Now, he fooled me and all 22 players. Now, this La Costa Canyon midfield doing a great job giving Rachel Cohen, Kelly Schweihart, Megan Dickey, the Torrey Pines midfielders no space.
Not a ball now, and a ball past the goal line. Try there by Bueller. Substitution now for La Costa Canyon. Coming in.
Into the game, number 14, Natalie Elkind. Number 19.
Natalie Elkind is into the contest.
PA announcer couldn't find her name on the roster, number 19 for La Costa Canyon either, because she's not on any of our rosters. So we'll have to find out at halftime who that player is. I'll go down to the field and get that straightened out.
The advantage that those guys like Fox and some of these other big networks have, these research people that can work for them and get those numbers.
That's right. The NFL, they've got the roving reporter on the sideline. They just go down to you. Nobody to go down to, but we'll get that for you at halftime and find out who that mystery player is.
Well, the clock showing 9:11 left to play in the first half. Torrey Pines with the throw in. Rachel Cohen working it. Her teammates now, a quick touch there. By Tovi Ponglen. Ponglen to her teammate. Working it to the near side. It was Cohen, the touch, but they cannot continue on with the soccer ball. And a collision with Megan Dickey, colliding with the La Costa Canyon player there, and the foul against Dickey.
That's the best way to slow down La Costa Canyon's midfield there, is knock the player down. Not that I'm advocating fouling, but so far, Torrey Pines has been just a step slow in the midfield. La Costa Canyon really having their way with them.
Not attempted pass by Killian was intercepted. However, La Costa Canyon getting it back now. They still lead 1-0 here in the first half on Megan Gkjs' goal. 11 minutes into the first half. And it has stood up as we get to the closing part of the first half here. The throw in for Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines came into this game with a record of 17 victories, 2 losses, and 3 defeats on a season. La Costa Canyon came in with 19 victories and only 1 loss on the season, and no ties. Number 1 ranked team in the county. A throw in for La Costa Canyon. Miley doing a fine job. However, they take it away. La Costa Canyon on a counterattack. Stepping up, defender making a nice play. So Kendra Brown retrieving it. And La Costa Canyon trying to advance upfield with Jessica Miller as she was knocked down.
Kelly Schweihart doing a great job there for Torrey Pines, getting back in midfield, winning that tackle.
And there's that mystery player on the ball there.
Ooh.
As it goes out of play.
I think Torrey Pines' defense is a little bit out of sync because they've got Rachel Bueller man-marking Megan Gkjs. Normally she plays a sweeper position. I watched Torrey Pines play with Bueller as the sweeper in both their quarterfinal game and semifinal game. And they look much better in the back with her playing there. So I think changing tactics here the night of the final might be causing a little bit of upset in the back for them.
La Costa Canyon, the throw in. And doing that honor will be Jessica Miller. The junior midfielder gets it in the 6-yard box at a header by Dew. Not a bad header on that play, but she didn't have any body to follow it up. And trying to head it like she did, you had to have a little bit more steam to beat Gubelman on the play. So Torrey Pines back up on her counterattack. Off the Torrey Pines player, but they get the call. Tovi Ponglin is trying to operate to the outside there. To throw in. Boy, some pretty good physical play to the far side on those heading tries.
I mentioned that Kelly Schweinhart, the shorter player against Pruitt, but Schweinhart showing us right there she can get up in the air and win the ball with her head.
There's going to be a substitution for Torrey Pines. They look like they're going to bring in Megan Woods, and La Costa Canyon is going to bring in Rachel Hillman. Or a correction on it. Let's go. Megan Woods is into the contest for La Costa Canyon. And Hillman will come in for Torrey Pines. We'll get it right.
Well, they got two number 12s down there at the scorer's table, and they're trying to confuse us.
Meckling. Man, a save has to be made on the play by Guy.
Schweinhart's starting to get involved in the game now. So Torrey Pines needs to get back in this.
The header by Torrey Pines, now a whistle. And it's going to be a free kick. Indirect free kick now for Torrey Pines. Down to about 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. Torrey Pines down by a goal, 1-0 here in the CIF title game. Heather Young on that last sequence, and she'll give way to Bueller throwing it in. And Dennis Costello, the head coach for Torrey Pines, wants to get his player in.
Now he gets Hillman in.
She's into the contest. The senior forward, Rachel Hillman. Bueller with a left foot try. And it goes up in the air, the header, and Guy gets back to make the save. On the second try inside the 18-yard box. And we have a whistle there. And that's going to go in favor of La Costa Canyon with the free kick. Near side to Brown. Collision. To midfield. The size of these two teams in a girls' high school soccer and its skill, you're not going to see it to this level ever before in the county. As the high schoolers just keep getting bigger and bigger, especially girls soccer.
It seems the athletes in every sport now, bigger, stronger, faster. They start playing at an earlier age, and the technical skill on these players is phenomenal. That's why we're seeing some of these young players get into the national team program at an early age.
To the near side, coming over and hustling there was Young. Dickey ran by the ball, could not keep it in play, so Natalie Elkine throws it in. Knocked out by Dickey. You almost want to call Megan Dickey a super sop. Take that one from basketball.
That's right.
Jessica Miller now, nice header. but running in that space there was Bueller again. Natalie Dew. And it goes all the way back where Guy comes off the line, but she gets one of her teammates to be able to get to it first. Throw in. And that is a double whistle, which means it's the end of the first half of play here in the CIF Division I Girls High School title game between La Costa Canyon and, of course, Torrey Pines, and it is 1-0 La Costa Canyon at halftime. We'll be back with more in the second half in the CIF Division I title game from Southwestern College in just a brief break.
As our athletes strive for excellence.
And action is underway here in the second half of the CIF Division I Girls High School title game for the year 2000-2001 season. Greg Porter along with Jeff Scott here at Southwestern College. And it is 1-0 through the first half as La Costa Canyon scoring the first goal of the game in around the 11-minute mark on number 15, Megan Gkjs. And that is the goal that has stood up. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, that was a great goal by Gkjs to get them on the board early. La Costa Canyon really asserting themselves. I thought Gkjs and Woods up front for La Costa Canyon were the key in that first half. The midfielders, though, also doing a great job beating Torrey Pines to the ball most of the time. Second half, Torrey Pines going to have to make some adjustments.
Of course, as you realize on your video screen, it is Torrey Pines now going from right to left and La Costa Canyon going from left to right. On a ball now, Stacy Lopez, or correction on that, Heather Young, who has had quite a few touches in the first half, but La Costa Canyon, the one who scored the goal, Megan Gkjs, on a run.
I can see the adjustment Torrey Pines has made right now. They've dropped Heather Young back into midfield. There she is coming back for the ball.
Heather Young looks like she has quite a bit of size, and that helps out. If anything, more of a physical presence, shall we say.
And she's only a freshman, but she's a big, strong player, very quick, and she can score goals from midfield. So, you know, that's not it's not a bad move for Dennis Costello.
Dennis Costello and Mike Nicholson here in the CIF title game. They've played each other before, like you said earlier in the year. But this one is for all of the marbles, CIF-wise. You know, as I look at CIF action here in San Diego County, it kind of makes me, and the ability of these players that I've seen around the county play, it kind of makes me feel that they should, in soccer and CIF, they should go ahead and have a state tournament. What would you think about something like that, Jeff?
Well, I was on the CIF advisory committee for a number of years when I was at Francis Parker, and there are two problems that you have, and we tried to get a state tournament together. For one, the state of California is huge. It's very difficult to cover all the time and space. And unlike basketball and volleyball, you can't ask players to come back and play, you know, a game and then 2 nights later play another game and 2 nights later play another game. It's not fair for these athletes, for their bodies. Well, they didn't like that call at all. But the other reason that we had a hard time getting a state tournament is, you know, the CIF, we're in the San Diego section. There are 10 sections in the state. And the 4 northern sections play soccer in the fall, not in the winter, so they play in a completely different season. So right now, unless you change that, you couldn't have a true state champion.
And obviously that's because of weather conditions.
That's right. I can imagine playing in the winter soccer season, you know, in Shasta. It's one thing to do it in San Diego.
Especially this year with the El Nino-like conditions.
That's right. Look at all the rain we've had. But I know there still is talk about having a Southern California regional tournament. And I think that the powers that be, especially up in the southern section, I hope that they'll reconsider it the next time that they meet, because it would be great to see these kids perform on a larger stage.
Heather Young with a touch now, reducing the size of the field and sending a ball down the middle. But making the save, Ashley Guy. The Costa Canyon to the far side on their counterattack. Ball sent across toward the near side touchline. Chasing after it, Caitlin Pruitt. Natalie Dew will throw it in. Her team leading 1-0 here in the CIF Division I final. Natalie gonna find a spot and gets it in. Trying to turn there was Gkjs. Kicked out of play, a corner kick for La Costa Canyon. Let's see how they set up on this set piece. Thrown by Jessica Miller. And kicked out by Torrey Pines out of the danger area, that 18-yard box.
All these throw-ins and corner kicks, very dangerous on this field because this field's very narrow. You look at the amount of space between the corner flag and the penalty area. There's only about 6 or 8 yards there, which means this field is barely 60 yards wide. Most of the girls can throw the ball that, half that distance pretty easily now.
Has there ever been talk, Jeff, of maybe playing the finals in a bigger field, or is it just not possible, really?
Well, there just aren't enough venues that have wide fields. We did some championship games Monday night from La Jolla High School on the artificial turf. That was wonderful.
This one's sent to Guy, and she's able to handle it.
There's Rachel Cohen in the midfield stepping up. They're going to need her to do more of that in this second half. But so far, Killian's done a good job of neutralizing her in the midfield.
On the ball now, Swihart. And it's going to be a throw-in for La Costa Canyon. Trying to gain all the space she could was Vanessa Valentine. And Valentine was told to move back by the center ref, getting it in now. Vanessa, another one of the seniors out here on the field, with their team leading 1-0. A throw in now by Heather Young for Torrey Pines. As it goes up to midfield, Torrey Pines winning it, with Rachel Cohen on that last sequence coming down the middle. Back to midfield now. Heather Young on the ball, but gave it away to Megan Gkjs, who assumed the space there very nicely. Over to her teammate, Killian. Killian gets it in the 18-yard box, but it's intercepted by the defender back there, who placed herself between herself and the attacker.
That was Rachel Bueller back there and dropping into her normal sweeper position. She actually wasn't doing her job that time. She wasn't man-marking Gkjs. Wow, here's a chance.
And a chance inside the 18-yard box goes awry as the Costa Canyon wins it. Here's Natalie Dew trying to get a pass, and it works its way over to the striker, Gkjs, and the foul, and they do not like it on the side of La Costa Canyon. Torrey Pines now. Bueller, long ball with 3 defenders back for La Costa Canyon. And they watch it go past the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick for La Costa Canyon. Your score, 1-0, La Costa Canyon.
Mike Nicholson, the La Costa Canyon coach, he's talking to the fourth official and the referee's assistant down here on the near sideline. He didn't like that call against Gkjs. You know, and that's oftentimes the larger, taller player getting called for the foul when indeed maybe there was no foul at all. I have to sympathize with him on that one.
Megan Woods trying to control it and goes after it one last try before Torrey Pines, the Falcons. The Lady Falcons winning the soccer ball. And that last touch by number 3, Sussman. Senior defender, laying in her last game for Torrey Pines. Sussman now on the ball. Sending it up forward to Young. The senior. Sussman to the freshman. What an honor it is to play and get a lot of playing time with a varsity senior player out there on the field, especially in a title game, Jeff.
Yeah, this year, I watched some of the kids from Francis Parker play in their 8th straight title game, and I coached some of those seniors when they were freshmen. It was disappointing to see them walk off as finalists, knowing that they had a chance to bookend their career with another title. But you're right, just to play in a game like this is what an honor.
Torrey Pines, they kind of got a little bit of action there to force that ball out of the 18-yard box. In the air attack, and they win that.
That's the difference that Young makes in the midfield back there, winning the ball with her head. Very strong player on the ball up in the air.
Running on to it now is Killian. Killian's pass intercepted. And back with it is Heather Young, but Young's pass intercepted there. Nice job by La Costa Canyon in getting in on that, the midfielder Jessica Miller. Megan Woods to throw it in for La Costa Canyon on the near side. With about 12 minutes, working towards 13 minutes gone so far in the second half. Gkjs alone, dangerous into space, and she got a shot, and she just couldn't get that ball to angle where she wanted it to.
Bueller diving in there, trying to take a risk and intercept that pass, and Gkjs able to turn and get the shot off. Gkjs is having a great game tonight.
Here's Jennifer Killian, the junior, going to take the set-piece try from the near side. Killian getting a lot of air on the ball and a collision, and it works against La Costa Canyon.
The Costa Canyon players didn't like that call, but Rachel Cohen and Torrey Pines got flattened on that play, and that was a very good call by the referee.
Just showing you the physical play out there by both of these two outstanding high schools. To midfield. With Gkjs a touch. And she ran over Tovi Pangolin and no call. And they're going to call a handball against Dew, and it's now going to be at Torrey Pines. Free kick. Getting it started there was Cohen. Bueller sending a long ball, and that's intercepted. Cohen again, the sophomore, to her teammate now on it. Swihart, who crossed it towards the middle, but intercepted nicely by La Costa Canyon. However, getting it back is Kelly Swihart. Sussman sending it in, the senior. But La Costa Canyon there, and a try now by Heather Young. Easily handled by Ashley Guy. header there by Cohen, and a foul.
Ashley Guy's done everything you want a young goalkeeper to do in a championship game. You want your players to make all the plays that they should make, and she saved all the ones that she should save. Nothing's been too difficult for her tonight at all.
Swihart on the ball, and it goes out of play off La Costa Canyon, to throw in for Torrey Pines. The Falcons down by a goal here in the title game at Southwestern College, DeVore Stadium, and this one kicked over the net. Looked like there was a try by Swihart.
Yeah, Swihart lurking out there at the top of the 18-yard box. The ball fell right to her. Unfortunately, she didn't get a good strike on the ball. Ball went way up and over the top of the crossbar.
When it is a sunny day and you can clearly see around with the video of a game like this, you would be able to see over in the corner, 8th Street, see Bonita Vista High School, champions of girls volleyball, not only of San Diego County, but of the state. And congratulations on their efforts during the season. Back with it on a counterattack. La Costa Canyon, a run from Megan Gkjs. Gkjs with the cross, and it's intercepted by Torrey Pines. Beautiful play on that one by Jeffers. Lauren Jeffers. And she comes over, but it finally winds up to La Costa Canyon. A big try off the net, a follow-up, and a save again by Gobelman.
What a play by Gobelman.
Alexandra Gobelman made a brilliant save back there, and if she doesn't reach out and get that soccer ball very quickly, it would be 2-0 because La Costa Canyon had numbers inside the box. They had beautiful balls trying to get the lead by 2, and they could not convert on it.
That's a huge play, keeping this in a one-goal game.
And as you heard, a round of applause by the parents and those following it for La Costa Canyon, because they put a lot of pressure on the Torrey Pines keeper and defenders back there. And here they come again to throw in. Dew heading it up in the air. Gkjs trying to get around a player there. And it goes out of play. It'll be a goal kick for Torrey Pines.
Torrey Pines dodged a big bullet there. La Costa Canyon putting him under tons of pressure, getting not one but 2 really good shots off. One was blocked by a defender, I think. The second one, Gobelman, made a great save. We mentioned it earlier. But that could play a huge part in the outcome of this game if it stays 1-0 right now.
Yeah, a little push as you saw there, but the center ref not calling it. Dew now on it. Momentarily as Torrey Pines wins it, but now back off the touch by Kendra Brown, and here they go back the other way. Rachel Cohen sending it upfield. Trying to keep it in to the far side was Megan Dickey again, and she could not do it.
Megan Dickey's just not the same player that she was earlier in these playoffs, and when she went off the field injured, we thought that might have an adverse effect on Torrey Pines, and I think it has.
Torrey Pines with approximately 22 minutes left to play here in the title game to try and get a goal, a tying one. And illegal throw-in, it looked like, Jeff.
Yeah, the ball just slipped out of her hands. It is a little bit wet. You can't see it from this camera angle, but the field is still very muddy from last week on the 2 sidelines. You can see where it's worn down to the dirt.
And here's a nice ball played to Gkjs. Beautiful move around one defender. Gkjs still on the ball and tries to cross it, but the Torrey Pines defender gets there at the last moment. And who is that?
That's Bueller making another great save. Those two have been going head-to-head all night long.
Bueller knows she has to be there because her teammates need her to be there, especially in that situation.
Gkjs just walks right down the end line if Bueller doesn't make that tackle.
Well, here's Jenna Killian. Killian's cross on the corner kick. Still in the 18-yard box off a Torrey Pines defender.
It was Bueller heading that ball away. I think she saved her goal.
Killian plays a nice ball, and it is picked up by Gobelman. Gobelman comes off the line and makes a nice save. Good decision by Alexandra. Still 1-0. La Costa Canyon leads in the title game here in the second half. Meckling sending a ball up to her teammate, Jamie Clark. Stolen away. Here's La Costa Canyon on their counter try. Dew on it to Gkjs. She turns. Again, Bueller is there, marking her heavily, and she finally gets it around. She let the momentum of Bueller go by her and then tried to left foot it. But another defender was there, Jeffers, and made a nice play on it. Swihart. Young. And Young will have the throw in and a whistle.
Little pushing and shoving there after the play.
Coming into the contest for La Costa Canyon is Katie Culp. And she is a freshman defender. And coming out of the contest for Torrey Pines is Meckling at midfield. And now into the contest is Bogart. Megan Bogart, the junior defender, number 17 for Torrey Pines. And a whistle against La Costa Canyon. So Torrey Pines, Rachel Cohen will take the free kick. Cohen falls down on her free kick try. Trying to put every bit of effort she has and now runs onto the ball. Cohen works it to the outside. It goes to the near side now as Torrey Pines trying to work their offense. Trying to find a space where they can operate and get something on the net. And as Megan Dickey tried to turn with it.
She was offsides there on the play, actually coming back for that, and the linesman made a great call on the far side. But an interesting substitution right now. Bethany Bogart's going to come in, number 17, Megan Bogart is going to come in for Torrey Pines. Big, strong player. And they're going to put her up front as a target player. She should be able to win the ball with her head. Now they've got her dropped a little bit more in midfield, but again, a big, strong player for Torrey Pines to help them attack and get the equalizing goal.
La Costa Canyon with the 1-0 lead. We're down to inside 17 minutes left to play in a championship game of the CIF down here in San Diego County. Going to take it now is Killian. The free kick in her own half of the field, just past midfield. Jeffers in a mix over there on the defensive side of things. And a foul, and that is called against the Torrey Pines defender. Was that Megan Dickey?
Yeah, that's her, shaking up again on the play, too. She got caught between the attacking player and her own player, Rachel Bueller, and she got the hard hit.
I believe it's an indirect free kick. Now it's just a regular free kick, and Costa Canyon on their big try here. The header. Torrey Pines out of danger with it.
The player's name that we haven't called much tonight is defender number 2, Kendra Brown for La Costa Canyon. But she has all but made Jamie Clark, the Torrey Pines forward, disappear in tonight's game. Jamie Clark, the center forward for Torrey Pines, has been unable to do anything. She hasn't been able to hold the ball, turn the ball, run at the defense. So, give Kendra Brown a lot of credit for doing a great job in the back.
And now running on to it was Valentine, and getting it up forward towards midfield action for La Costa Canyon. Dew. The long ball. Megan Woods. Woods getting around a defender. Woods with space. Centering pass intercepted. Woods still on it and directs it right at Gubelman, who makes the save.
Woods did the right thing both times. When she got around the corner, she passed that ball instead of straight across the goal mouth. She laid it back at the penalty spot for a teammate. When the ball was deflected back to her, she had all the time in the world. She teed it up and took the shot herself.
Hoping that maybe Gubelman will not be able to handle it. Torrey Pines, the free kick in their own half of the field. Sands of the hourglass starting to run out for Torrey Pines. Down by a goal. Team that has only lost 2 games all year long. Wanting to badly to tie it up. And La Costa Canyon, of course, doesn't want that to happen.
Well, these two teams have beaten each other already this year, so this is really a grudge match. You know, those other games, since they're not in the same league anymore, the other games really didn't count for as much. This has so much more riding on it, the county championship, and really, these are the number 1 and 2 teams in San Diego County, not just in this Division I. Fans didn't like that call. Wow, what a shot.
Heather Young right there on the net. Ashley Guy makes the save, and Young quickly took that shot, too. She didn't waste any time, Jeff.
That was about 35 yards out, maybe 38 yards out, and she didn't hesitate. You're right. She looked up, pounded it towards the goal.
Foul against La Costa Canyon. Teeing it up there is Bueller.
La Costa Canyon fans not liking these calls, but really, Art Murphy, the center referee, doing a very good job here in the second half, keeping things under control.
Megan Woods on her run. Woods has Gkjs in front of her. Megan Woods gets it behind Gkjs, and a play where Jeffers can make it and knock it out of danger there.
There's where that Torrey Pines defense is all out of sorts. Jeffers, normally a marking back, being asked to play as a sweeper tonight. Bueller usually plays that role, and Bueller and the goalkeepers usually have a much better relationship. They're able to understand each other and communicate much better.
Why do you think Coach Dennis Casello decided to do that tonight?
Well, Bueller's his best defender. Gkjs, the most dangerous player on the other team. A lot of times you want to take your best player, try to neutralize their best player, and see if you can beat them with the other 10 kids. Gkjs got the early goal, though, so that strategy kind of went out the window. But they're staying with it, and Bueller, to her credit's done a great job in the second half here of really shutting down Gkjs. Woods is the player with the more dangerous chances this half.
Carrie Meckling for Torrey Pines comes into the contest, and Courtney Young comes into the contest now for La Costa Canyon. Ball up in the air, and Torrey Pines now with their counterattack try here in the second half. In the 18-yard box, putting pressure. Vanessa Vela. And it goes over. Or rather, that was Jamie Clark who was putting the pressure for Torrey Pines, and they are continuing to see what they can try and do here in the second half to try to tie it up. They don't have a lot of time, though.
Jamie Clark really with her first chance to run at the goal tonight. Boy, here's another chance for Torrey Pines. Oh,
Kerry Meckling was sandwiched and knocked down on a play. Really didn't get much of a try in that space. And boy, characteristically, when you get to that point of the 18-yard box, you have got to be very quickly making decisions and making moves, because those defenders know that if you get a chance to make a good pass or operate on your own, they're in trouble.
Yeah, inside the 18-yard box is no place to let a player have time to turn and shoot or make a pass.
Going back to run it down. Go ahead, Jeff.
And if you're the coach for either team, you don't want to see a player making a pass inside of the 18 anyway. You want to see him shooting the ball in a championship game. Take the ball and shoot it yourself.
Put it in the net.
That's right.
Torrey Pines now, they definitely need to do that, and time running out on them. Down by a goal. Getting close to the 10-minute mark. Left in the title game here at Southwestern's DeVore Stadium. Here comes La Costa Canyon now. 2 attackers versus 3 defenders. Of course, on the ball is Woods. Woods, a shot, and a save is made, though. Again, Gubelman being tough.
And the longer this game stays 1-0, the better chance Torrey Pines has to get back in it, and the more nervous Mike Nicholson over there on the Costa Canyon bench is going to get. His team has played well enough to be up by 2 or 3 goals, but they haven't gotten that extra goal that would give them some breathing space.
Heather Young on the ball, and it goes back the other way, not the direction she wanted it to, excuse me. And Jeffers has to retrieve it. Jeffers sending it up to Cohen. Cohen, the other super soft on a team for Torrey Pines.
That's what Cohen does best. Get the ball in the middle of the field and distribute the ball wide. She changes the point of attack.
Swihart sending a nice ball in the 18-yard box.
Great idea.
Just could not get Meckling to get to it before the keeper.
Rachel Cohen a little anxious there, going over the top of Woods. La Costa Canyon seemingly in control, but Torrey Pines working very hard to get back in this game.
And with the 1-0, the slim lead, anything could still happen. Plenty of time. Albeit, though, that time is running down in the 2000-2001 season for both these teams, and we're going to take a break. And we'll be right back with more action here in the CIF title game. Megan Cacadelis was the injured player out there for La Costa Canyon.
Yeah, she was getting some leg cramps there. You know, late in the game, it's cold out there. They've been running hard all night. Players that don't get enough fluids start to cramp up in a game like this.
And especially when you have the weather getting colder and colder, and you definitely have to keep those muscles warm.
Yeah, we got to keep warm up here too. It's cold up here on top of the press box.
But like you said, it's so key in playing a sport like soccer that you have to have the right fluids too. Electrolytes in the body, otherwise you will have problems. Coming into the contest is McKenna Stark for La Costa Canyon. She was the player that we were talking about, was a mystery player. Stark on the ball, and it's kicked out of play there by Jeffers.
Yeah, they had Stark listed as 17 on her roster. She's actually wearing number 19 tonight. Just a freshman, but she came on in the first half and made an impact. Let's see what she can do right now.
Always nice in this juncture of the game to get fresh players out there. And you just hope, if you're Mike Nicholson or Dennis Costello, you get them to put something on the net, as happened there, and it is going to be another corner kick.
That ball cleared off the line by a Torrey Pines defender. That ball was past Gugelman and in the back of the net, and if the defender's not standing on their goal line, it's 2-0 La Costa.
The junior again, Jenna Killian, a nice one, but this time getting her hands out in front of her was Gubelman, and knocking the ball down and chasing it down, getting it to it before another attacker for La Costa Canyon can pursue it for an opportunity to take the 2-0 lead. So here on the counterattack, Torrey Pines, and falling down.
Rachel Bueller got fouled hard from behind there. She normally plays the back, but in the last 7 minutes here, 8 minutes, you're going to see her push forward. They've got to get the equalizing goal here.
Jessica Miller, the midfielder for La Costa Canyon, was on the foul. And Megan Dickey talking to Cohen. It's going to be Cohen over to Dickey. Dickey, find somebody in the space, or at least she was looking for somebody in the space. She found enough space to operate, and that really was a pretty nice ball that she turned on.
Actually, I didn't think she'd get as nice a cross as she did off, but Heather Young was running across the top of the 18-yard box, just missed that ball. She was in behind the defense if she can get to it, and a very dangerous chance for Torrey Pines right there.
And, of course, Gkjs, as we mentioned, cramping up. She's back into the contest now. Torrey Pines in the defensive half of La Costa Canyon, and that's where they need to stay if they're going to have a chance to win. But first they've got to tie. They're down by a goal.
Yeah, they're throwing everybody forward now.
Inside 6 minutes left to play. A collision there, but Torrey Pines still has the soccer ball. Cohen on it. Goes to the outside to her teammate, Sussman, who feeds it in the interior defensive third of La Costa Canyon, and they win the soccer ball now. To midfield of the dangerous Gkjs. But she cannot go any further. It goes off her body. Gkjs still trying to pursue, but there is Jeffers, the junior, sending it up forward. And a foul against Natalie Dew. And here is now the free kick by Cohen. It caroms over to Swihart. Swihart sends a long ball over and towards the 18-yard box, but intercepted. Knocking it down is Bogart. On the header, back in the 18-yard box. There's a shot, but a save is made for La Costa Canyon as Ashley Guy was there. Down to 4.5 minutes left to play until that final double whistle.
Yeah, I like what Dennis Costello's done here. Rachel Bueller's up in the center midfield now. Rachel Cohen has dropped to be the last defender. She's playing like the sweeper, the free player at the back. But Rachel Cohen, a very attack-minded player herself. So what you've got now is a team that's thinking about going forward.
Getting back there, the last line of defense that time was Swihart, the senior, making a nice play. Or was that Jeffers? That was Jeffers, I believe, that was back there. She made a nice play. But here's Gkjs going against Jeffers now.
Gkjs very tough on the ball. She's so hard to take. It's so hard to take the ball off of her foot when she's running to goal. She's a big, strong player. She shields the ball well, and she's very skillful. You don't expect a girl that big with long legs to be able to cut on a dime like that, but she does.
La Costa Canyon in no hurry, of course. They lead by a goal with 3.5 minutes left to play, and Torrey Pines kicks it out of play. Cannot control it. They need to control the soccer ball, get some crisp passes going, and go up the field.
Yeah, now it's all hands on deck. You've got to put everybody forward as soon as you win this ball. And they've got to win the ball back. That's the problem. La Costa Canyon has possession of the ball. They can't get it.
And they're in no hurry to get it started. In the 18-yard box, Torrey Pines, they cannot win it again, and it goes out of play. And we're down to unofficial 2:52 left to play. Since it went into the stands, I guess the center ref deciding to stop the clock there.
Yeah, he's going to stop his clock. He's going to add time on. He knows that these balls out of bounds are taking precious time off the clock. They're just time-wasting tactics. Although they're really not tactics by the Costa Canyon. It's the Torrey Pines kids that keep knocking the ball out of bounds.
Katie Cope with a throw-in. The freshman. She's going to be seeing action for another 3 more years. Quick touch there by Caitlin Pruitt, the senior, in her last game.
Pruitt normally plays in midfield. Mike Nicholson making a tactical move of his own, taking the senior, putting her at the back, being very sure he's going to make sure nothing goofy happens back there.
Megan Woods back out on top to Killian. And now in the corner of the 18-yard box. And coming out to make it, the save is Gubelman off the line. Played that positionally well that time.
Here comes LaCosta again.
Cohen able to send it up forward. Bogart, who will have another chance to play next year, wanting to get back to the title game. And she's
here
a
goes
junior.
Woods.
But here is Woods, as you mentioned. In the corner, Woods against 2 defenders, one behind her, and the ball goes past the goal line. Last touch off of Woods.
She thought she'd played it off the defender and was going to get a corner kick out of it. They know there's only about a minute or so left, so anything they can do to take more time off the clock.
And Dennis Costello going to get a fresh player in there. And of course, that's Miley Tovi Pangolin into the contest. Kicked out by Torrey Pines.
This is where they miss Bueller. They need a veteran player back there making good decisions in the back.
Gkjs being sandwiched over there. And throw in by Torrey Pines as Gkjs had lost it. Gkjs on it now. Goes past the goal line. Nobody there. Couldn't keep it in play. So Torrey Pines with a big chance here. But they cannot get it past midfield.
And there's Killian again. Oh, they thought that was the final whistle. And fans are ready to charge down to the field. The players are ready to run out on there.
Torrey Pines maybe with their last big opportunity here on the free kick. LaCosta Canyon there, though. The double whistle, LaCosta Canyon wins the CIF title game. 1-0 over Torrey Pines.
1, Torrey Pines 0. Congratulations to the 2001 Division I Women's Soccer Champions, the LaCosta Canyon.
LaCosta Canyon only lost 1 game all year in the 2000-2001 season. And they got the goal early in the first half, in the first 11 minutes by number 15, Megan Gkjs. And that was the goal that held up throughout the contest.
Gkjs did a great job to find some space early in that game. She got away from Bueller. She scored the game winner, and it held up. LaCosta Canyon's midfield and defense really did a fantastic job, Greg.
I tell you what, both goaltenders played really well. Ashley Guy and, of course, Alexander Gubelman. And Gubelman, she made some outstanding saves and had some luck with the crossbar, too. Otherwise, this game would have been much more of a margin as far as victory for LaCosta Canyon.
That's right. Gubelman really had to make the tough saves tonight. Ashley Guy really only had to make the routine saves. But that's what you've got to do to win championships, and she did the job.
Well, both of these teams have had a fine season, and obviously the coup de grace was to be able to meet here in the CIF championship, and they did, and it turned out to be a very outstandingly played soccer match between 2 great teams, and we hope we get an opportunity to see them again in the title game. I'm sure with the way they're coached, the way their programs are, we will.
And so many young players for both teams. We're going to see a lot of these kids back here next year in this same game, most likely.
Athletic Director, Ms. Ann.
Well, I hope you enjoyed all the action here at DeVore Stadium, the home of Southwestern College. The final score, again, winning the championship in the CIF Division I Girls High School Soccer, La Costa Canyon, with a 1-0 score over Torrey Pines.
Hey, I want to say it was great working with you tonight. It was a lot of fun having two of us up here on the mic. I enjoyed it. And, of course, we want to thank Mike All, our cameraman, who always does a fantastic job. You don't hear him, but you see every bit of his work.
Boy, your experience in this world's greatest sport is just outstanding, and it's just a pleasure to be able to work with a man who knows so much soccer. The voice of the Flash, Jeff Scott.
Thank you very much.
I'm Greg Porter saying God bless and take care until next time.
Number 12, Rachel Hillman. Number 14, Megan King. Number 20, Harry Meckling. Number 13, Miley Tavafolshahern. Number 21, Heather Young. Number 3, Samantha Sussman. Number 8, Kelly Schweigert. Number 7, Julia Hall. Number 5, Lauren Jeffers. Goalkeeper, Alexandra Rubelman. Number 10, Megan Dickey. Number 6, Rachel Cohen. Number 4, Jamie Clark. Number 15, Rachel Bueller. And number 17, Megan Bogart. Head coach of the Falcons, Dennis Costello, joined by assistants Jim Steenworth and Steve Saylor. Coach Costello will receive the plaque as 2000 Division I runners-up. Congratulations to the 2001 Division I runners-up, the Torrey Pines Falcons. And now, joining Dennis Ackerman will be Principal Don Rizzi and Athletic Director Joe Murray. For La Costa Canyon, 2001 Division I Women's Soccer Champs. Number 7, Amanda Guy. Number 14, Natalie Elkin. Number 16, Heidi Schnuckensnyder. Number 19, McKenna Stark. Number 18, Megan Scott. Number 21, Stacy Lopez. Goalkeeper, Tammy West. Number 4, Vanessa Bella. Number 5, Katie Culp. Starting goalkeeper, Ashley Guy. Number 15, Megan Kakadelis. Number 13, Jessica Miller. Number 12, Megan Woods. Number 11, Natalie Dew. Number 10, Caitlin Pruitt. Number 9, Vanessa Valentine. Number 8, Jackie Skeeber. Number 6, Courtney Young. Number 3, Jessica Killian. Freshman Jenna Killian. And number 2, Kendra Brown. Assistant coaches, Lucas Kudlow and Janine Harshey. Head coach of the Mavericks, Mike Nicholson, will receive a plaque for 2001 Division I Women's Soccer Champs, the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. We thank you for attending tonight's soccer finals at Southwestern College. Have a safe trip home. Good night.